right.
Good evening. The board has returned from closed session and will begin regular session of Keys Union School District Board of Trustees meeting. First of all, we have Mr. Greener absent and Mr. Bernal is on Zoom. So we appreciate him joining in with the Zoom and we hope it all works. We've tested it. It's working so far. So going out with 4.1, report out closed session items. We have one item to report out. We have a leave of absence has been denied. The motion was made by Mr. Bernal. The second was Mr. Emmons. Do we all have a favor vote? And Mr. Bernal, you're going to vote last, like always.
Yeah.
When we say aye. So we need a vote. So aye.
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 Aye. Aye.
Perfect. Technology is working. All right. Moving on to 4.2 approval amendment agenda. We have one item. That'll be action item 10.14, and that is the superintendent's finding support utilization executive order N322 utilization.
Yeah, it's basically based on the governor's latest allowance for allowing individuals to come into the classroom as teachers that may not hold credentials. So that's basically, it's all to do with that executive order.
All right, we'll discuss that when it comes up. Any other things to add to the agenda or any questions?
Nothing else.
Do we have a motion to approve the amendment and then the whole agenda as a whole?
I'll make that motion.
We have first, we have a second.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Thank you. Moving on to flag salute by Mr. Green.
Everybody please rise.
Begin. I pledge to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice. Thank you. Hopefully we'll get the kids back here soon. Moving on to invitation to address the Board of Trustees. Do we have any? Thank you. Moving on to announcements. 7.1, Keys to Learning Charter School Academic Decathlon Speeches is January 21st. Spratling Middle School Winter Formal has been postponed. I've already heard from the kids. They're pretty upset, but we'll get through it. Moving on to 7.3, Keys to Learning Charter Core Academy Assembly is January 24th at 1 p.m. Keys to Learning Charter School Choice Week is January 24th through the 31st. Spratling Middle School Great Kindness Challenge is January 24th to the 28th. Keys Elementary School Great Kindness Challenge is January 25th to the 28th. Moving 7.7, Keys to Learning Charter Junior Senior High Information Meeting is February 2nd. Keys to Learning Charter Academic Decathlon is February 5th. Spratling Middle School February 9th through 11th is a Valentine Graham Sale. Moving on to staff reports. The board has had time to read the reports. Do we have any questions?
Nope.
All right. Moving on to recognition. Nothing tonight?
Nothing for this evening.
Item 9, consent agenda action items. Actions prepared for consent calendar are consistent with adopted and approved policies of the district and are deemed routine in nature. They'll be acted upon in one motion without discussion unless members of the board request that an item be removed from the consent calendar. In that event, it will be taken up in the order indicated on the main agenda. Any questions? 9.1 through 9.6? No? All right, do we have a motion to approve?
I'll make that motion.
I'm going to give that one to Wes as a first, a second to Jimmy. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Thank you. He's still awake. He didn't fall asleep.
Yeah.
Moving on to action items. Approval of certificated classified confidential management personnel action. Any questions or concerns? We have a motion to approve.
I'll make that motion.
We have a first. Do we have a second?
I second it.
Mike got that one?
Oh.
All in favor?
Oh, I forgot about that.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Moving on to 10.2, public hearing, statutory school facility fees report for the 2020-2021 school year at 6:08. Mr. Brazil,
So what this is
can you hear him?
almost every year we go out for what we call a statutory school facility fees report. And it's a study that basically looks at what we're charging for developer fees. And so we have to hold a public session to where there can be a public comment if you wish. And then we're going to ask that you approve the latest study. Stephanie, do you want to add something?
Okay. Okay.
So what Stephanie is sharing is that it's the report that we received that actually states what we have to report out to individuals as to what the fees are for that particular year.
Any questions or concerns?
Stephanie, I know your voice is hard to hear. That's why I repeated.
All right, we'll close this public hearing at 6:09. Moving on to item 10.3, approval of the school facility fees report for the 2021 school year. We have a motion.
Make that motion.
We have first, we have a second.
I second it.
Got you again. I'll give that one to Mike. We have first, we have second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Thank you. Moving on to item 10.4, approval of Keys Learning Charter School salary schedule fixed sub rate increase.
And this is the salary schedule being updated to reflect the temporary increase in sub pay that we're all implementing.
And we did this last month for
regular
the schools.
the charter,
Yes. Any questions or concerns? We have a motion to approve.
I'll make that motion.
We have first,
I second it.
second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Thank you. Moving on to 10.5, approval of resolution 212209. The Board of Education of the Keys Union School District approving a final adjusted trustee area map, map B, for use in electing governing board members commencing with November 2022 governing board member election. This was the three maps we saw last month and we chose B.
Yes, and then what this is actually the verified maps that have legal standing now and that have to be certified and submitted to the county with the 5 regions detailed and delineated on those maps.
And I feel like almost every town's going through this. We're just a little ahead of them.
We all have to, and they have to be submitted by February, depending on the county.
Yeah.
It's done particularly after the census, and so because we had the census, then is one of the major reasons.
All right. Any questions or concerns? Do we have a motion?
I motion that we accept it.
All right. We have a first. We have a second.
Second it?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Thank you. Jimmy, you got your map B. Moving on to 10.6, approval of Keys Union School District 2021 School Accountability Report Card.
So the school accountability report cards are due to the federal, well, they're due to CD or California Department of Ed. They have to be posted by February 1st. It is a federal requirement under the No Child Left Behind issue. The state this year, however, has been very late in releasing their data that needs to be represented there, and that I speak of our student assessment data that they release back to us, and amongst other issues that we need to report on the school accountability report card, and it's always reflecting the prior year. So the reason why it's 2021 is because that was the prior year. Next year we'll do the 21-22. So I'm asking that the board approve those, and you'll see some others coming up as well.
Oh, yeah, we'll do that for the charter school too. So any questions or concerns? Do we have,
They are looking to update them. When they give us information to update them, then we will have to repost. But they are all posted on our website, both at the district and each of the school sites. And so we've met that requirement.
all right. Do we have a motion to approve?
I'll make that motion.
We have a first. Do we have a second?
I second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Thank you. Moving on to 10.7, approval of Learning Charter School 2021 School Accountability Report Card. Same thing, just for the charter school?
Yep.
Any questions or concerns? Motion to approve?
I'll make that motion.
We have a first. Wes, you got to get
I'll
faster. on
second
it.
it.
We got a second from Wes. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Thank you. Moving on to 10.8, approval of CSEA MOU extension. Be on the calendar every month, pretty much.
With CSEA, we have done it once, or we're doing it month by month. So once again, I'd ask that the board approve the MOU, which is kind of our standard operating procedures during COVID and the pandemic.
And that always goes smooth every month?
Yes, and we, just as an information item, we will bring the KTA forward for approval next month. Ms. Valponi and I have spoken and come to an agreement.
Perfect. Any questions or concerns? We have a motion to approve?
I'll make that motion.
We have a first. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Thank you. Moving on to 10.9, approval of 2022-2023 regional and early Head Start budgets.
So this is kind of a housekeeping yearly operation. It's to approve the Head Start budget for 22-23. And of course, you will, as most of the time, you will see then some changes to this, and they'll be brought for the board for updates and for some changes. So my recommendation is that the board approve this the Head Start budget as presented for 22-23.
Any questions or concerns?
Nope.
We have a motion to approve.
I'll make the motion.
We have a first.
I second it.
We have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Thank you. Moving on to 10.10, this is the early Head Start. Approval of 2022-23 regional and early Head Start refunding guidance letter.
So it's basically to approve the letter that dictates how refunding will be conducted within the Head Start program.
Any questions or concerns? We have a motion to approve.
Make that motion.
We have a first.
I'll second
We
it.
have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Thank you. Moving on to 10.11, approval of KUSD roofing projects as authorized by COVID-19 funding.
And with this, I'm going to have Eric, since he's present, kind of give a little bit of an update so that it's clear. But what we're asking is the board to approve the roofing projects. And there was some changes that when the bid was submitted, there was some fees that were left off of it. And so I'll let Eric kind of explain that, Eric, if you would, and share with the board. But just while Eric's getting ready, the great thing about this is that we were able to get approval from CDE, which is not an easy task. And Stephanie worked very hard on this to allow them and to prove to them that we were working within their guidelines and that we could use those funds to provide facilities that would provide ventilation and would be adequate and safe for students to be in the classroom. So I want to thank her for that, and also and even Eric, everybody who participated on trying to get something through CDE is not an easy task. So.
Okay.
Showtime.
Hi, everybody. Yeah, so another year, another roofing project. It's a slightly bigger project than we've done before. I think the total that we submitted to CDE was $681,205. The one thing that we forgot to submit was we like to add a 10% contingency per section of the project, just in case we run into replacement of deck boards or fascia, something that's not covered in the base budget. And so we didn't submit that, but we are gonna put that in our PO and encumber that amount. I don't know I think Stephanie's gonna resubmit. So we should be good. I guess while I'm up here, I'll just talk about a little about the project so you know. So we're doing roofing both at KES and SMS this year. So this will be the first year that I've done roofing at SMS since I've been here. We have 3 roofing sections at KES that are part of the base project, and then 2 at SMS. So we're doing the kitchen roof and the gym bathrooms, and then we're also doing the staff workroom 7A and that whole section there. And then the one that I've been really waiting to tackle is the canopy that runs from the gym here all the way down that main hallway that goes all the way down to the first grade wing. That's got a lot of dry rot. It leaks really bad. It doesn't have good sheeting off the top. So it's a really bad ripping system. So this will give us a chance where you can actually walk through a hallway and not get wet while it's raining.
Is there anything we can do with all those wires and pipes, or can we obsolete some of those?
We've been trying to clean those up, especially underneath. We've got all the stuff that used to hang down low. We had a bunch of old telephone lines and everything else. We've gotten rid of that. Now we're trying to work on stuff on top just to really help with the project, get as much of that stuff that's old infrastructure off the top. So when they have to lift all that stuff off to re-roof, it's a little easier to do. So that should be really cleaned up after that project's done. So I was excited about that. And over at SMS, we're doing the quad. So the entire quad classrooms and the quad bathrooms. And we're also doing the library B104 and staff room.
Mm-hmm.
So that's part of the base project. And then we kind of did something a little different this year. We were trying to we didn't want to go over our amounts, and we didn't really know what the budget was going to be with, the new pricing on everything. And, it's really hard to get materials. So we did 2 alternate projects, one at KS and then one at SMS. So the one at KS is the trough above the office in Kinder, where we house all of our mechanical. So you have like the pitched roof on both sides and then that high walled flat spot in the middle. We'll be renovating that. And then sorry, I can't breathe. At SMS, we're going to be doing the office and kitchen as the alternate project. So we'll be doing that as well. That's pretty much it. So it's going to be a good project. We're going to get a lot of stuff done. And I feel like after this year, the only brick and mortar that we're really looking at as far as roofing is the gym at SMS. And then it's just some portable. So I think this will take a big chunk out of it, and being able to use COVID funds is really going to help out with that.
And all summer projects?
Yeah, all summer. Yeah, so we'll have to work around, summer school probably in July a little bit, but it'll run all the way. Project will probably finish really early August, just before school starts. So.
And then when are we going to know if we can do the second amounts? When the bids come in, or?
No. So we have all of those amounts. But what we submitted to the feds, the 681, is all of the base product or project, the 2 alternates, and the materials for all of that project. The only thing that we were missing is the 10% contingency, which is around $34,000. So the total possible cost for this project will be $715,795. And then obviously hoping that we don't use all of that contingency and we end up under. But I just feel that especially like the canopy, we're probably going to run into going over that base bid a little bit. So having that contingency just helps us have encumbered money and not have to, we know what we're spending.
So right now the alternates are a go.
Yeah. That's everything. That's
Gotcha.
all the base and then all of
That's
the.
what I was thinking, like, if everything goes good, we might be able to afford those. But right now we're budgeting for the alternates.
Yep.
Nice.
Those were actually approved aside from the contingency.
Yeah, it's just that 10% that for each one of those sections, and the total for the whole project is $34,000. So.
Nice.
And even that 10% can be submitted to CDE for approval. So Stephanie's working on it.
Any other questions?
You're going to be busy this summer.
Yeah. Track 2 or no, field project now.
That was a jam.
Thank you, Eric.
All right. Any other questions for Eric? All right. Do we have a motion to approve his? We're going to call this the Eric Roofing Project.
Oh, I'll approve the Eric roofing project.
We have a motion for Eric's Roofing Project. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
We have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
All right. From now on, when we talk about the roofs, it's Eric's Roofing Project. All right. Moving on to 10.12, approval to memorialize Keys to Learning Charter School Expansion Project.
So what this is to enter into official record and in a public session, the final figures of what the entire project was, the amount that was unused for the project. And so we're asking that the board simply acknowledge it as it's been a report, it's been submitted, but we wanted it to become official. And so Stephanie and I both decided that we would bring it before the board.
All right. No certain timing. It's just,
Stephanie?
mhm. Perfect. Did you want to repeat that?
No, basically it's to indicate and to public that not all of the funds were used, and so that their actual payments were to go through 2031, and it's just showing what those actual payments are and what the district will then finish in terms of payments.
Perfect. Stephanie still said it better, just nobody could hear it. All right, do we have a motion to approve?
I'll make that
You
motion.
guys just look at each other, someone make a motion. We got a first, we got a second,
I'll second it.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Thank you. Moving on to 10.13, approval of new revised board policy and administrative regulations for KUSD, item 9.6 from the action items. And we, for some reason, we voted on them twice from now on. So we have any
What
questions?
we're asking is that you approve those additions or those those changes to our board regulations and policies.
Do we have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Oh,
Okay, I'm gonna ask again, and someone needs to take a notch down. Do I have a motion?
Go for it, Jim.
Oh, we'll be here all night.
I'll make that motion.
We have a first, do we have a second?
I'll second
A second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye?
it. Aye. Aye.
Thank you. Moving, 10.14, this is amendment action item. Superintendent's finding supporting utilization executive order N322. Mr. Brazil?
So what this is simply a resolution that will allow us to proceed if we need to hire someone to be in the classroom or be in a position that they are not fully credentialed, following the guidance from the governor's executive order, we would be able to do so. So it's just basically it's the governor asking the districts to give permission to their superintendents to follow through with the order.
And in today's time, we really need this.
Yes, however, that executive order is not as clear or as positive as one might think. There are a lot of missed details, and I will not bore all of you with what is wrong or right with it, so I'll leave that alone.
All right. Do we have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Do we have a second?
I second.
I'm gonna give this one to Mike.
Yeah, that one goes to.
Mike's got a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye?
Aye. Aye.
Thank you. Moving on to discussion items, LCAP, update, ESER 3.
So LCAP update, you'll get a full update at the February board meeting of where we are. Also, Stephanie will be sharing the parent financial disclosure, both to the board and to parents, exactly of what funds we have expended and what they're being spent on. So that'll be due in February. And this time it's really just a presentation. It won't be an action item. It'll be a report. And it's not required to be submitted to the county office. All they want is to know that it was agendized and that we discussed it and presented.
Any questions on those two items?
Not on them.
ESER 3?
ESER 3, we just continue to spend it as much as we can when we can. I mean, there's a lot of positions still that we can't fill or have not been able to, just simply because we don't have the pool of candidates.
All right, 11.2, SMS track committee meeting update.
So Eric will be meeting with the architect or landscape architect. He had some meetings scheduled and was unable to last week. So in the coming days, he will be meeting, and then I will meet with him and we will schedule a meeting of that committee to kind of go over what our next steps may be.
So everything's still just rolling along.
Absolutely.
All right, any questions? Jimmy, you got any questions?
No, I just like to hear it rolling along.
Just so you guys know, we rescheduled our meeting for next Thursday. She's in the master plan phase. She's at the point where she's got enough on paper where she wants to take a look at these in the right direction for what we had talked about in our committee meeting before she moves forward. So she's moving along, right along.
And I appreciate you're doing that, not the committee.
Yeah, I think we already talked about what we wanted to do, so now just making sure it's there on paper.
Yeah, it's too many chiefs, not enough.
No, and so what Eric is stating is that the architect is kind of has a general idea or an overall idea and has enough to put some ideas on paper and meet with us. She'll be meeting with him on Thursday, and then we'll follow up with meetings as needed.
All right, any questions?
None.
Jimmy, sure you have any other questions about this track?
Eric's got this.
Jimmy asks me about the track every day, so it will never be forgotten.
I'm gonna forget.
I'm pretty sure Eric's blocked Jimmy's phone number on his cell phone. All right, moving on to 11.3, library lease between Stanislaus County and Keys Union School District.
Yes, I have been in communication with the county library individuals or the administrative. They had the individual we were working with has moved on to Merced County, but we are making progress. We have, I think, a tentative approval that I will bring before the board at our February meeting, but I'm waiting to hear back officially. But again, I just wanted to share that the communication is going, and just this week, but I have not heard back based on what my recommendation or my proposal was.
And we're still in a lease that's working, that there's no rush, correct?
Correct. So this would be what I hope to bring is a lease that would be for 2022, 2023.
Perfect.
So we have a current one through 2022 or June 30th.
Yes. All right, any questions on that?
None.
All right, moving on to report, superintendent report.
Okay, boys basketball is now underway, so we're having some games rescheduled to address the surge in quarantine cases throughout, and that's just not our school, but obviously other schools and teams as well. So we're doing the best we can to reschedule those. Our quarantine numbers have increased greatly as we continue on this Omicron surge. The health authorities hope that we're near a peak. In fact, there's some national statistics that are showing that perhaps we've already hit that. However, in this state and the county, that may not be the case. So I appreciate the efforts of our staff and who have supported us all in keeping our schools and programs open as much as we possibly can. I know that there was some fear that they thought that I was going to close schools. I have no desire to close a school ever. I never have, and I will not do so unless it is something that's dedicated by the public health and sharing that. And I think I've been very honest with staff with sharing that. So I don't know where some of the rumors sometimes come from, but I'm a firm believer that I want to squash them. They're not true. We're still looking for, I also want to thank, while on that note, thank Jeff and Mrs. Green and Chris Shula for all of their extra help in the cafeteria. We had people out and we all came down and helped to provide lunches and breakfast and really worked as a team, and we're able to keep, again, kids fed and schools open. So I appreciate that very much. We're still looking for an art and music teacher. The pool of teachers is kind of non-existent, but we continue to advertise, and also our 7th grade position to allow a teacher on special assignment. We're still holding off on that. The LCAP, I've already shared that I will bring the report to everyone in February. We continue to work on the track as I updated, and Eric has shared that the meeting will be next Thursday. I want to thank KTA and Ms. Valponi and the leadership for coming to agreement on an MOU to support a safe environment for all of our employees and students. These are most certainly busy times for all as we deal with now budget development and the countless plans that are far too many for me to even begin to list. And continue to deal with the COVID nightmare. We will have Stanislaus County working on a project that will, for about 2 weeks, limit access to KTL and KES. That is completely beyond our control. It's been a project that has been in the books for a number of years, honestly, and has been deferred from summer, then to, it would be during the Christmas holiday, and now they're looking at doing it in the middle of February or beginning of February. We are doing everything we can to work with them to minimize the disruption. We recognize that there will be some. It is beyond, again, our control. We're asking parents to be cooperative, to be cautious. It certainly may be an issue of safety. We've asked administration to make sure that we have additional crossing guards or people supporting that during drop-off and pickups. So again, I sent out all of the information on it. I wanted to be proactive and sent that out. So again, we hope it goes well and that they get it complete very quickly. Just to kind of bring it up to everybody's attention, we're also kind of wondering what's going to happen with the section of road there in front of the Head Start building. As you can tell, Eric and I had a discussion about this, that they have moved the power poles far into the property. And so it looks like there may be a projected either road widening or something there. And so our hope is, oh goodness, what's next? And when will that happen? And how can we ask that it happen during summer or when times that students aren't present? But again, we're kind of locked in and a lot goes on around us that we can't control. I just want to wish everybody a continued happy new year. And always, I thank everyone for their support. And again, being all of our staff, both classified and certificated, for being cooperative and collaborating to get through these kind of trying times. We're all doing things that we weren't ever thought that we would be doing, but we're having to, and we're keeping kids in school, and that's what's important. So that's all I have for tonight.
All right, thank you. Board member comments, Mr. Emmons?
Well, I'll just start off with thanking you guys for stepping up and helping serve lunches and breakfast. I don't know really what it'd have done if you hadn't. And I know Jeff had to take off work to do it. That's a sacrifice. It's appreciated. And I'd like to thank everybody who's working on that project over there at Spratling. It is something I think the kids will really enjoy. Appreciate all the work Eric's doing, Stephanie, and I'm sure Raul's doing it, and probably LU and a bunch of others, and it's appreciated. I think the kids will enjoy it for years to come, once it's done. Thank you.
You were going to talk about the Christmas baskets
I
too.
think, I thought Wes talked about it last month.
But I just thought you were going to say something because you missed last meeting.
And again, I would like to thank Costco for their generous donations for Christmas and the way they come in, and they're as excited about it. It's like it was Christmas at their house. They're excited about bringing in all the food, and they're working hard and lining it all up. Boys for kids, and Mel Chavez, she puts it all together, and we had so many volunteers. I can't name them all. I don't want to try, but it worked really smooth. And to see the people receiving them, they were in shock, and it made their day, made my day. So it's all appreciated. Mel's a big part of that. Thanks.
Aren't you glad you told me to remind you?
Yeah.
Moving on to Mr. Green.
You know, Jimmy, what came to mind when you said, thank you to Costco, I was thinking, it's the people, right? Of Costco that make this thing so special, right?
Yeah.
Because, you can have great people and you can even have greater people. And it just seems like we get the best of the best every time, and I just wanted to reiterate that we appreciate the people of Costco and Costco for sure. Also, our superintendent and my board president, you guys, my hat's always off to you. You guys are amazing. And remember, the most important part, Jeff, the harder you work, the less I have to. So thank you for that.
Vice President.
Yeah. Stephanie, I hope you feel better. I'm not for sure. I noticed when we walked in, I seen your eyes and I thought, well, there's something different going on. And when you talked, then obviously I heard, and I hope you feel better. And last, Eric, listen. So tonight I was earlier. Tonight I was 15 minutes early, right?
He was early.
Yeah, I was. And one of my things that I got to enjoy was looking for a mask, right? I got maybe a dozen masks now, and I couldn't find my Keys mask. I was looking for it. I thought, where are my Keys mask tonight? I couldn't find it. So when I was sitting here, I was looking around. I thought, wait a minute. No one here but Eric is wearing the Keys mask. And I thought, now there is a man that I can respect right there. So thank you, Eric, for the OG mask there.
He probably looked around for masks. That's all he could find.
Oh, is that?
And Mr.
Oh, yeah.
And Mr. Green, just so the people at home know, we're all wearing masks just in case they can't see.
Absolutely.
Also,
And
I think that what you're seeing in Stephanie's eyes is retirement.
oh, is that what it is?
But she couldn't talk last month either, Wes.
Oh. Well, it was a little louder last month than this month. And everyone else, thank you very much. I surely and we surely appreciate everybody's effort for sure. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Burnell?
Yeah, I'll keep it short. Thanks for all the staff. I don't want to start naming names because I'll be here for a while. So thank for all you do. I hope 2022 will be a better year, and the kids that will go forward and have an exciting year this year. Thank you all.
Perfect. Thank you. It's Mr. Greener's turn. I'll just say, I believe he was going to join in on Zoom too, but he's worried about connection and didn't want to disrupt the whole meeting. So we decided to just ask him to skip it. Is that correct?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
That is absolutely true. He is headed back home, and he felt that the connection was spotty and he did not want to go ahead and interrupt. So,
Yeah.
yes.
So he tried. We appreciate it, but could have disrupted the whole meeting. My comments be short and sweet. Got to serve lunch with LU and Chris and Tracy Greener. It was a lot of fun. The kids, I got 4th and 5th graders, super polite. You could tell when it was Friday. They knew it was Friday. Teachers knew it was Friday too.
Oh, yeah.
If you ever want to see hungry kids, just have LU serve them food because he'll leave all the 3rd graders running for breakfast. It was great. My main thing I saw is they picked up all their trash.
Wow.
There was no trash. Friday there were some kids goofing off, but they picked it up. They're just having fun like kids do. And was great to see what we serve them. As a kid, I don't know if I would have ate that stuff, but they were happy for it.
And also the fact that they were pleased and thank you. I think that that says an awful lot. I mean, that's probably, to be honest, one of the most impressive things to me was that that's exactly how we were treated. And of course, you know, who are you and why are you here? And you're new, those kinds of things, but absolutely respectful and great kids. So I want to share that with Mr. Murray and the staff there. We didn't go out to Spratling, but I've experienced nothing but that as well. But these particular kids were really just amazing. I want to clarify that there's 2 recesses, and I thought, well, I'm doing 2nd and 3rd grade. Well, 2nd grade finishes, and I'm thinking, boy, I have a lot of food here. Well, not dawning on me, the 3rd grade still hadn't come out, so I'm headed back to the cafeteria with my little cart pushing it along, and all of a sudden there's a stampede of 3rd graders coming out because they want their food. So it was great fun, and it just shows you that there are routines we don't know.
But I made sure to tell the kids it was his fault, so
Yeah.
they knew. But it was, you know, it's a weird time that we're not on campus like we are. It's hard to make this stuff, and I don't want to be a cross contaminator or anything like that. But when it came to LU calling me at night saying we need food service, I was there, and I was super happy. It was very hard to put it in my schedule, but it was important too, and I made it work. But it was all rewarding to see the kids. I mean, that's what we're here for. So it was great working, and it was stressful getting everything ready and being responsible and all that, but it was a great time. Sports, boys sports, it's been difficult balancing everything. I've made a couple games. It's great to see if you guys can go out and catch a game. It's one of those things that if you're going to go check before you go to the games, because we've already had 2 cancel on us because of COVID.
Do they cancel quick, like in the last few minutes?
Lunchtime, kind of.
It's happened probably about middle of the day. It just all depends on when cases get reported and kind of how quickly a school has to, and their personnel and helping to then send out information to everybody.
But it's working smoothly. Like the coaches and the administrators are working well together, but it's just one of those things that, believe how overwhelmed we are. Every school we're playing is the same spot. So
Right.
it's tough, but so especially if it's a away game, I would check before you go.
Well, all I can say to that is them girls set that bar high for Key School.
The boys are playing.
Yeah, I got you.
The girls are setting bars.
Gotcha.
All right. I think that'll do it. 13.1, next board meeting. The next regular meeting is February 17th. Closed session is 5:30. Regular section is at 6. Again, Mike, I really appreciate you joining in Zoom.
Thank you.
Do we have a motion to close? You want to close it?
A motion that we close.
We have a first. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Have a good night, Mike.
Good night.
Well.
Good night. Thanks.